Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Hello, hello, hello.
That'll be alright, I think.
Yep.
I can always... See if I can squeeze in here. Oh God, look at the glitter. I've got a new laptop so I can search for things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's canny.
Actually, I think it might have been here when you were around.
Take your pawn to bed.
Yeah, boy! Saves me having to do it sat in that chair you're in every time, Dean.
You've got a crystal ball.
I have, yeah. That's to, you know, when we're trying to work out what the best films of next year will be.
Yeah.
Of this year.
Oh, I thought it was attached. No. Right, let me put that back down. That looks expensive.
it's not. I don't know how much it is. It's for photography. You shoot through it and it turns everything weird.
Oh, right, okay. Right, I'm all ready to rock and roll.
Welcome to Popcornography, a podcast, episode 56? No, 46? Or 32? Or 27? I don't know. I think it's 46. It'll be on the little graphic.
It's been such a long time since we've done it.
It's been a year.
Oh, God.
It's been ages. Dean's been too busy with his pimping.
I have.
Is that where you're getting this call from?
Yes.
Dirty
There's
man.
lots of germs out there, John. Lots of germs.
I've been avoiding it like the plague.
Do you know, I've avoided it all this time as well, and I'm sat next to you.
It's alright, I'm not infectious anymore. It's
No, he
gone.
says
I
this.
don't believe that.
I can feel. You know what? I feel my nose now tickling a little.
I wouldn't have come along tonight if I thought I was infectious. Still, I'm not infectious.
I don't believe it's germ related. I believe it's roll up a tenner related.
Roll up a what?
Roll up a tenner related.
Oh, right.
That's what it is.
You reckon that's what it is?
Yeah.
It's all that partying over Christmas.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it? We went out. You dragged me to the Quakers. I wanted to go home early. I actually did, didn't I? I was kind of tempted to.
Shut the fuck.
I know.
That was
I'm
Cat.
getting bored of
No,
it.
that was Cat because we went for one to see
we
Cat,
did.
and then Cat goes, "Oh, stay. There's a really good band on."
And then Dean was like, "We're staying," and I was like, "I want to go home," and he went, "You're staying," and then he
And
got
Rick
a
was
nail
like,
out and
"Staying."
hammered my feet into the ground. So I was like, "Oh no," and ended up having to stay. And then you were ill.
I was ill.
No.
I'd been out every single
From then
weekend. leading
all the
up
way through to
Christmas.
now, 2 weeks of that. Have you been back at work?
I've been at work. Yeah. I went to work. I just took lots of painkillers.
But if you'd got
Been
this,
drugged out
in your-
my head.
that sucks, doesn't it? Imagine being ill over Christmas
Yeah,
and
I
not
bet you
tasting
would.
your Christmas dinner.
Yes, I know. People rubbing it in. Bringing all delicious leftovers as well to work on the table.
Oh,
at the
Well,
end.
he
still
just
can't
confirmed
taste
there.
it.
He just confirmed it there, being drugged out of his head, rolled up tennis. Yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the coffee I made you?
Yeah, it's not as good as codeine though.
Oh, you do still sound ill.
I know it's for
Look at your hat on as well. He's got this bloody
Keep myself
cozy
warm.
on, tea
Keep
cozy.
myself warm. I'm recovering.
You're indoors, Dean.
I know, but I'm recovering. Recovering.
Yeah, the cough. Yeah.
Then I've got to deal with. I think I've got to deal with this painkiller addiction now.
He's just completely numb now. He can't feel anything.
Since I've been taking these really strong pills for the last week and a half.
No, you have to get well for
Have
our
to
little
come off
holiday
then.
we've
What's
got.
under your hat, Dean? What's under your hat? Is that your contraband?
That's how he transports
Yeah,
it
That's how
around.
you do it, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you could do while you're ill? You could lie in bed all day and watch films that you should have watched by now.
I could.
Because
Yeah.
I guarantee your top fives will be terrible. You non-film
Oh, they
people.
will be. They will be. Especially with the pool that we've been watching. I've got a rather large pool of films to watch. So has John, and you've got 170 odd.
176.
Yes. I won't say how many films I've watched because it's quite embarrassing when we're doing a film podcast.
Imagine, right, 176 films. What's that in hours? How many hours have I spent sat in front of that TV or sat in a cinema?
I mean, what's the average? 2 to 2.5 hours, maybe?
I think it's the best way to spend life, though. Immersing yourself into another world, forgetting your real one.
Apart from gaming, what other entertainment value have you got?
Codeine.
What do you mean?
Apart from your rolled up tenors.
hiking, skiing, snowboarding, skydiving, driving,
Tiddlywinks.
swimming,
Bingo.
tiddlywinks, dominoes,
If you're housebound
poker.
for the rest of your natural life,
You can play poker. You can snow. No, you can't snowboard in the house.
Playing the
Poker.
keyboard.
Playing the keyboard.
DJing.
but you can't play the
DJing,
keyboard.
graphic designs, playing with the kids,
Building Lego.
building Lego. There's loads of things you can do. We just knocked him down a peg or two there, didn't we, Dean? Let me introduce us. 'Cause we haven't done that yet. I'm Rick,
I'm Dean.
I'm John.
and if you are still with us from when we did the when we did the other 40 odd or 30 odd or 20 odd or whatever we're on, then welcome back. If you're new to this, hello.
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 Yeah, when was the last time we did this?
I think it was February last year.
No. Oh, yeah.
Really?
What?
Wow.
Hang on a minute. There's like 1, 2, 3 of us.
Yeah, there is someone
There's
missing.
someone missing. Who is it?
Did you turn the oven off? Garage doors. That's what it is. I left the garage doors open. That's what it is. Yeah, it's okay.
Am I missing a trick?
No, I don't know what the hell he's on about.
Kevin. That's what happens in the plane when she's thinking there's someone missing. There's something not right.
Oh, you're taking that, haven't you?
Yeah.
The garage
right.
doors. Ah, right, okay.
And then she's like, no, it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah, you've been watching Christmas movies.
Yeah, Simon's not here.
Simon's not here.
I think you've given him the bug, haven't you?
Yeah, he's and I'm not well as well.
Over the last few weeks, I've felt a little bit groggy, but that could have been. I think it's just a permanent hangover, to be honest.
With you?
Yeah, so much. So I don't want to rub it in for poor Dean.
Yeah, I know. We're past Christmas, we're past New Year, and I lost my taste on Christmas Day.
Of all the days.
Of all the days.
Oh,
So I've not
I'd
been
be
able to taste a
devastated.
single thing, and I've still got all my sinuses blocked up. So it's Christmas Day, and I've got chocolate, and I've got food, and I've got meat.
Hey, if it's not getting eaten, Dean, just
No, it's stockpiled.
Have you seen what I've been living on?
stockpiled.
I've just finished off my special toffee. I've got my Lindor chocolate there. I've had 2 thingies of Pringles.
I can
I've got a
see.
whole box of Heroes there. And that's all I've been living on for the last 2 weeks.
Healthy.
It's ridiculous, man.
Well, to be honest, Claire threw in another Christmas present for me because we've been given the usual heroes, celebrations, chocolate and all that sort of
Yeah.
carry on, big, massive bars of Galaxy. And she said, I want to be good. They're all yours, basically.
Uh-huh.
So I've worked my way through them.
Yeah. Bet you have.
Couldn't help myself. There's still some there that are going to get worked through on.
Well, the notch on my belt, which is always on that notch, I wore my trousers on Wednesday. I've been back to work for 1 day, and I sat down, and I was like, "Oh God, I've definitely put the weight on." And we haven't been.
You're allowed to. It's Christmas.
And we
I've
haven't
lost
been-
weight because everything to me just tasted like cardboard. So I must be having porridge and stuff.
Well, we haven't been at the gym for months and months and months and months.
No,
so.
it's to be honest, it's since I came back from Florida, I've been busy. In all honesty, I've been massively busy with a lot of stuff that's been going on. But I mean, obviously you're the same, and it's just been, a crazy time from then to now. Busy I've been.
In a weird way, though, they're a good escape. I mean, it has been a rough final half of the year, and it was. I've probably watched more films due to that because it's just a way of kind of just.
How many films have you
Yeah.
watched?
What did I say? I think it was 176 films.
Can
in
anyone out there
2018.
beat that?
Jeez.
170 odd films.
The
Oh,
people I
easy.
know, I know a lot of people who would beat that easily.
But yeah,
In the
you've
films.
got an internet library, haven't you, of all the films that you've watched? So
Yeah.
you keep track of them.
Which makes creating lists, which is the main feature of tonight's podcast. We're going to talk about the top 5 films, our top 5 films of 2018, and it makes compiling something like that so much easier for me.
I hope that a certain film's not in your top 5. We'll find out.
A certain film.
A certain film better not be in your top 5.
What would the certain film be?
We'll see.
I have no idea.
We'll see.
I've got a funny feeling what it is going to be with you. It'll probably be in your top 3. what
Does
I've
it
got
have
in mind.
dinosaurs in it by any chance?
No.
Oh, I don't know what you mean then.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Because I'm surprised you haven't cottoned on. But we will see.
I'm not sure. Just while we're at it, is that set both sounds?
It's like a figure of 8.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I'll just push this a bit further towards you guys. Cause for some reason, this mic's supposed to record perfectly equal on both sides, but it doesn't. It makes me much louder. Or maybe it's my manly
It's
deep
always
voice.
done that. It's always.
Of course it is.
I'll just check it's still working. So, Blue Yeti, put away the Christmas decorations.
They're gone.
Wow.
Oh, you two
not doing
both
anything,
didn't
right?
see my Christmas decorations. That's the only
I did.
Did you see them?
I'm sure I did.
Did you come round?
But was it? No, they weren't up for your part. No,
they
I don't.
weren't in room for me in my part.
Check it's working.
I saw a photo of them.
Yes.
That photo looked quite good, actually.
Cute.
Was that off your camera?
Yeah.
Off your professional camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked quite good.
I think that's maybe why the podcast took a back seat this year as well. We've all, like you said, had a lot of things, but I've got into my photography, which has kept me really busy. I did a course on it, and and work and stuff. So, well, we're hoping to get this back on track, aren't we?
Yeah, I would like to.
Because I love meeting you guys and just talking shit about films. I really do.
I would like to.
I really do.
Get us back into watching a lot more films as well.
Well, I don't need that, but
You don't need that. Let's check it again. Blue Yeti, dim the lights. It's not working.
Alexa, dim the lights. Oh, there we go. Wait, it didn't go down very far.
Alexa's working.
Alexa's working. Now I can't see you.
Do you know? I'm really looking into them Wi-Fi board because we've got a Zulu Halo sort of cabinet where it does have inbuilt Alexa.
Right, yeah.
And this electrician come round and he was sorting out our oven and he was on about it where he said he's got lamps dotted everywhere because he finds them more warmly. And he's got the Wi-Fi bulbs. And he said it's the best thing he's ever bought.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got them as well. The one in the corner there that's colour-coded as well. I
don't know why I've got it. I said it green for that photo of my Jurassic Park collection thing I've got.
Oh, right.
I just haven't changed it back yet.
But honestly, it just makes life... I know... Switching on a switch is by far the easiest thing you could do, but just to talk and have it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just brilliant.
Star Trek. It was in Star Trek years and years ago.
We didn't copy. Star Trek just knew.
Star Trek knew.
Yeah. Star Trek is our future. You see? No, I do. I love it, and I'm looking at getting. I'm looking to get a house, but I'm going to get the thermostat all connected up as well, because it's not actually that expensive. You only look about £100 and you can get them connected up and control you can turn your heating on from home and from work and stuff like that.
Can Alexa give us the top 5 films?
Yeah, we could ask her.
Should I give her an ask? Alexa?
You'll have to hang on.
Alexa, can you tell me the top 5 movies of 2018?
As a noun, top is usually defined as the upper part of anything or, alternatively, the highest or
Alexa.
lowest side of anything.
I'll ask
Shut up.
I'll ask it.
She didn't understand John. Alexa didn't understand you, John.
It's your stupid Geordie accent. That's what it is.
As a noun, top is usually defined as
She's
You've broken it!
alternatively, the highest or uppermost side of anything.
She's just typical
As
woman.
a
She's
verb,
telling you
just
what
listening.
top means.
Superior or better than some standard. As an adjective, top can mean
Oh my God.
the top or highest position.
What have you done?
Did that answer your question?
No, Alexa.
Alexa, what are the top 5 movies of 2018? She might tell us
The
that.
highest grossing 2018 movie by worldwide box office is
Infinity
Avengers
War,
Infinity War, which grossed £1,610,000,000.
Shit a brick. 1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's impressive.
We're slowly. The highest grossing film is still Avatar at 2 billion, but we're getting closer and closer. But that's just, I think, obviously the rates, the money rate,
Endgame might hit it.
It's going to get close, I think. Yeah, they're setting that up to be like the mega one. Should we get into the top 5 then?
Well, aye.
Yeah. So who wants to go first with their number 5 pick?
Go on then, Dean.
Ooh, number 5. The ones I've seen. I might go with number 5. I might go with Impossible Mission Fallout.
Impossible Mission Fallout.
For number 5.
Right, I've not seen that one.
Haven't you seen it?
No, that must be. Is that like a kind of spoof of Mission Impossible by any chance?
I was taking the piss. I actually thought he never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen Mission Impossible.
I was about to jump over this table.
Yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout. So, have you seen it then?
I've seen it, yeah.
So it was pretty much a standard action pick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. It wouldn't be in your top 5, it was just a standard one, would it?
No, it was standard in terms of what you expect out of it. Going by the previous films and the kind of action and everything that went through it.
It's very similar to the last two. Like, they've got this kind of theme, haven't they? Where it's mainly a film built around some massive stunts. But that's what I love about it. They're like, they really do it. A lot of these action films, it's all smoke and mirrors. You can tell they've actually gone out and shot these, and he's actually taken risks and stuff. They even kept him breaking his ankle in the film, didn't they?
Ah, yes.
They did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did.
I remember seeing that on Graham Norton. I remember seeing like a proper close-up and it looked horrendous. Done well.
The only downside to it was some of the twists. You more or less could see they were coming before they happened. I think it's because you've seen so many of those movies where you just know that certain characters are going to change or certain characters are going to flip over.
Yeah, I said in my review that I think it relied a little bit too much on previous events from the other films, and I'd only just recently watched them all as well, and even then I was still a bit like, is he from that one? And then it even brought back the girl from, when did we last see his actual wife? Was it the second? No, the first film. Or did they bring her back in the third one? See, I'm struggling to remember even who she is, aren't you?
Yeah.
She turns up right at the end of the film, doesn't she? In spoilers, by the way. And she's actually from one of the first few. And if you haven't watched them all recently, you're gonna be like, what? Because they've tied them all in where they've always been quite separate films. You didn't have to really rely on what had happened last, but now it's one big universe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, there was a lot of ties into the old movies because I watched it with Mark, and he didn't have a clue what was going on.
Yeah,
because he'd not seen the previous films. Or if he'd seen them, he'd completely forgot about them. So yeah, but I just enjoyed it because it was just a good action pick. It was your standard action all the way through.
Yeah.
But there was no other kind of action pick in that kind of genre, that kind of area for the whole year. So that's why I think I enjoyed it.
No, I'll give you that. Yeah, good choice, John.
Well, my top one. Are we going top one or top
No,
one?
you're 5, number 5.
Number 5.
You're gonna jump to the climax at the end. This is why your wife's so upset, isn't it?
Twat. I would say my 5th one
Yeah.
that I've seen would be...
This podcast's going to be about 4 hours long, just like this.
Well, I worked on me 1 to 4, just haven't I worked on my 5th one. Ready Player One.
Okay.
That was up in the Oscars, wasn't it, for visual style and visual art?
That's absolutely fair.
The reason I wouldn't give it any higher because it was just one massive CGI fest. We all knew that. The trailers give you that.
And it can get away with it because it's in a game, so
exactly.
You know what I mean. But for me, it still makes you feel like it's all CGI. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
You had your normal acting experience as well as the CGI involved, but that was the main film.
Yeah.
And it was good. I mean, they did pull off some real good scenes with it, don't get us wrong, with your Back to the Future and with your Iron Giant and this, that and the other, but I didn't feel as though it was that good.
Yeah, I was just sat there looking for other references from games and films rather than really caring much about the story and stuff. I think it was quite a generic kind of story. Didn't really get emotionally attached to anything. And
not really, no.
But I mean, from a technical point of view, I think it was pretty impressive. And but for a Spielberg film, it was disappointing.
But was it just too much though?
Yeah.
It pulled it off nicely. in certain aspects, but I thought it was a bit too much.
Okay.
But
You see it in 3D or just normal?
just normal.
Yeah,
It's kind of one I would think that would look good in 3D, but I'm not sure.
possibly.
Give you that, maybe. Something to experience, but
Proper died off 3D now. Even when I'm looking at film showings, they hardly show any 3D stuff at mine now. I think people are just preferring to go and see it in 2D.
Still show at the cinema though, don't they? Because it makes a little bit of extra money.
Yeah, but just not as much. Yeah, like I just don't think people are going to see it as much in 3D anymore. No one. It's kind of looked down upon a bit now, isn't it?
I can't remember the last time I saw a 3D film.
Yeah. I tried to give the 3D a go again on my TV not long ago, and it looks alright, but it's just the bother of setting up all the glasses and stuff.
Yeah, that's it though, isn't it? It's like me dad when he got Sky, and then you've also got like the 3D option there for like Sky Sports and what have you. And I was going to look into it, and he said, "Son, don't bother.
Yeah.
Don't bother. It's more hassle than it's
I'm
worth."
not even sure, because I was looking at TVs the other day, which you know about this, don't you? How I'd gone to Curry's to look at TVs, and I was really tempted to buy this 1700
It's nice.
LG OLED TV. I was so close, and I was like, no, like house mortgage, that's more important. It's going to set me back months if I buy this. And then my dad, who I dragged with me, because I ain't got a car at the minute, he drove me there, went, I'm going to just buy it. And now he's got it set home at home, and I just, so frustrating.
Your parents already had a massive TV.
Yeah.
Where's that gone? In Sam's room?
Up into the bedroom, I think. Fuming.
It was already huge. Your parents. It was a massive.
Because I did all the research, and I did all the, and I looked around, and I was like, that's got the best, looked at all the technical stuff, and found the best one. And then my dad just jumped in and said,
Did he give you an indication that he was going to buy it? Or
He'd hinted a while ago, but then he decided he wasn't. He was going to get some night vision stuff. But then obviously changed his mind again. So yeah, but I can't remember even seeing. They don't even advertise them as 3D TVs anymore. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
I don't know.
I know, and the only reason it's alive a little bit is because the films at the cinema show it in 3D. So when the Blu-ray comes out, you usually have the 2D, 3D, and digital download on the Blu-ray for like a tenner. So it's still there. You can still use it.
Well, James Cameron's up to something with his next Avatar films. I think he's working on some new technology, which, I mean, 3D. The first Avatar is what brought it in, and I think he's got some idea. Like, we just don't know about it yet. But that'll come out over this year. We'll find out what that is, I reckon.
Well, the first one was amazing. So the second one, but see, that's again, I hate that. This is why I hate sequels. I look forward to them.
There's 4 of them coming.
But it just.
See, I don't mind sequels. I hate prequels.
I do.
I hate knowing the story that's going to happen in the future, and then they go back and tell a back story.
Because there's no risk, is there? It's like, well, he's going to survive because this is the past. Like, I know what's going to.
I mean, off the top of your head, give me a sequel that's actually worked. That's actually been either on par or
Terminator
better.
2.
Give you that.
Aliens.
Okay, give you that.
Back to the Future 2.
Give you that.
But you're right.
Back to the Future, all the Back to the Futures.
I know exactly what you're saying. Sometimes franchises, you just want one film, like Matrix. Matrix is a brilliant standalone film, but then they had the second one, the third one, and then it's like, wow. And now you've got encyclopedias to explain.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But that's only a few off the top of the mind, though. I mean, there's loads out there.
Oh, there's a lot of bad sequels.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I mean, it's always a risky thing to do. I mean, look at Liam Neeson and his. What do you call it? Taken.
Yeah.
I've mentioned that about 1,000 times, but just an example.
So, that's why Spielberg didn't want E.T. to have a sequel.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Keep it as it is, because it's a classic.
Yeah. Because, what was it?
It was all written, wasn't it? They were going to go ahead with it. They had the whole script ready.
Yeah. Are you joking?
For E.T. 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Did you see the script, though? It was really weird.
It was really weird, yeah.
It's like going to war or something. And
all his mates turn up.
Yeah, they were bad aliens.
No, that sounds daft.
Well, apparently he only started to do this because Jaws got a sequel and he didn't do and he kind of ruined his. I think Spielberg felt like he lost control of his kind of franchise, and he didn't really want that to happen with E.T. So he kind of did all this. I've got a script in him to kind of get the studios off the scent and or looking for somebody else to do it, and then it never developed anywhere. But yeah.
But we digress.
Again.
I
didn't know where we were. So that's your top.
Yeah, so that's the fifth one.
Wasn't it?
Ready Player One, yeah.
Right, well, I know for a fact neither of you two have seen this film, but you should. My number 5 is Blind Spotting.
Saying it.
No, you haven't.
I know I haven't.
No, you haven't. It's one of the freshest films I've seen in ages. It's got proper like the performances of all the actors is incredible, but it's the story is about a guy who's got like 3 days left on parole, right? And if he does one thing wrong, it resets everything. He'll go to prison, right? And he sees a white police officer, shoot a black man, and it was unprovoked. And so he's now in a predicament of like, do I say anything and risk, them just turning around on me, or just keep quiet? So it's a pretty serious thing. Like a lot of like racial stuff is involved, but it's a very light-hearted film. They keep it light-hearted. It's got a lot of humor. It's got a lot of energy. It's really well edited, and it's a perfectly paced, fun film.
Who's in it?
You won't know him. You've got, here we go, Carlos Lopez, Jasmine
Yep, you're right.
Ethan Embry. You won't know many of them. But it's just, I really enjoyed it.
Right. That's your fifth one.
Yeah, and there's a rap at the end, which is just class. And it's just a weird climax, but...
A rap at the end?
Yeah, it's got like a rap.
As an Eminem? What he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
But yeah, what I'd say is it's definitely one of the freshest films I've seen in a long time. And the runtime just flew over. Really enjoyed it. It's one of my film choices for the thing that I do with Matt. And they both enjoyed it as well. So
how long's it on for?
It is... Let's have a look. Where does it tell me on here? I don't know, mate.
2.5 hours, maybe.
It's about an hour and a half, I think.
Ah, okay.
Something like that. I could find out, but I can't be asked.
Right, Dean, your fifth. What is your fifth film?
Fourth? We've gone down fourth, aren't we now?
Yeah.
Fourth?
Yeah, your top five. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
you've already said your
one.
fifth one, so your fourth would follow. Yeah.
Fourth one. Fourth one, I'm going to go for...
Yeah.
Just because it caused a bit of a storm when it came out, in a media storm. And I'm going to go for Panther Black.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that, but I've seen the first one, Black Panther. When did that? Hang on, no, that came out.
I've seen that one. Panther Black.
In all seriousness, I haven't even
You're
seen
proper
it.
backwards, you.
I haven't even seen it.
I'm not well. Everything's backwards at the moment.
You haven't seen...
You don't need to be well.
You haven't seen Black Panther?
Not well. No, I haven't seen it.
You racist. That's the only reason he hasn't seen it.
Yes, you caught me out. I'm a
You and all your whiteness.
I'm part of the Ku Klux Klan. No, I'm not. I'm trying to put that on record. I haven't seen it. It's there, just haven't done it.
Well, you make a bit of fun in terms of, you said they're racist in terms of that, but it created a storm, didn't it? Because we don't have many films that have all black cast.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much majorly nearly all black cast. There was a few white.
Mm-hmm. I think we did a review for this, didn't we? We did one of our little after credits, which we need to get going again. And we did talk, like, it was just, again, that was quite a fresh film, and it took some risks, and
It's worth watching, John.
I think though, because it's everyone keeps raving about it, saying how amazing it is, and I sit back and I'm like, it wasn't that good, and I think a lot of the critical acclaim is coming because of that reason, the diversity.
The diversity,
which is fair, but it doesn't make a film amazing. It doesn't,
and it's Marvel as well, because Marvel.
Yeah. See, I thought the action scenes were pretty generic. I think there were some scenes that were pretty badly done, like the fight with the big rhino things. That was all a bit ridiculous. He was kind of invincible, so there wasn't much threat to him.
So is it it's just a suit that gives him power, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's basically like Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like his backstory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Juice and Wakanda, and I guess it's important to the Infinity War films as well.
Yes, it is important. Yeah, it is important.
But no, I enjoyed it. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit overhyped because of the reasons that you mentioned there, but I still enjoyed it.
One thing I did love is the villain in it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Played by, what's his face? You know what I mean? There's something wrong with me when I'm doing podcasts. I just forget the names. It's him from Creed. You know what I mean? Michael B. Jordan, innit? Michael B. Jordan. It is B, isn't it? Michael
who
B.
actually
Jordan.
plays Apollo Creed's son?
Yeah.
He's the villain.
What?
He's the villain, in it. Did you say?
No. Oh, yeah, in Black Panther he is, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he does a very, very, very good job at it, I think. And his motivations and things, you can kind of... There's a bit in the film where you're like, I agree with him in a way. But then he decides to start like wars and stuff, and then you're like, all right, yeah, he's lost it. But we always had an issue with Marvel films and saying how the villains were a bit weak. But they've seen this 2018 especially, they've really turned that around.
They have, especially. I think they've learnt the lesson from Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It was a good movie.
Very good.
I'll have to get that watched.
Yes, you will.
I'll
What's
have to
your fourth one, John?
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
Again, a sequel to... Well, it's not a sequel, but a sequel to the
Well, it is.
Jurassic World instead of Jurassic Park. But Jurassic World, just it was on another level, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom give you that little bit of an excitement of what the first one did, but not. It wasn't as good as the first one. Especially like with... have you seen it?
Yes.
Right. So especially with trying to sell the dinosaurs in this big massive mansion, I just thought, really?
You've got dinosaurs. I think they could have thought of a more exciting story to tell.
Yes. I mean, also you've got the going back to the island, being chased by dinosaurs. Basically happens in all the films.
Yeah.
And they survive that. And then it's just... I just thought you're putting like the world's dangerous animals into a house in order to try and sell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Does that sound a bit...
Well, they would be worth a lot because zoos and things. I get zoos would want to buy
Yeah,
them.
but
Not all these bad guys who want to use them as weapons. I still don't buy into that.
It's a fact that they put them into a big mansion. These extremely dangerous animals... raptors and what have you to sell.
Another genetically modified one as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't like the genetically modified dinosaurs. I think the normal natural dinosaurs are scary enough.
It would have worked for the one film, worked for Jurassic World, but to introduce it again, you're like, ugh.
I know what you're saying though. Like,
Seen this.
Dinosaurs in a mansion doesn't sound like the best idea, does it?
I was pretty disappointed with it, and you know how excited I was for
Yeah.
anything like Jurassic Park stuff, and it was a film of two halves. The first half was on the island, the second half was in that house, and it just feels
First
completely.
half broke my heart though.
Oh, well,
the
that's
kids
the
must have
thing.
been crying their eyes out.
The trailer, and when I saw it was back on the island, I was like, oh no, I really want it on the mainland. I'm sick of the
Yeah.
island.
People
But
love that island.
it turned out the other way around. I actually enjoyed the island bit way more than the house bit.
Yeah.
And the thing I've been waiting for since Jurassic Park The Lost World, where you see the pterodactyls flying towards the mainland, I want them free on the mainland. So you're waiting. This is what I went in that film hoping for, kind of expecting.
Yeah.
And then it ends just as the bit that I've been waiting for begins. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I saw it twice, but I just left a bit. Left
Disappointed.
wanting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, Chris Pratt and the woman actor.
Bryce Dallas Howard, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful woman.
That was the highlight of the film.
Done
wasn't
well.
it?
Yeah, I mean, they brought them two back and they were great. They were really, really great. But it just didn't blow me away like the first one did. The first one was just phenomenal on another level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say it's possibly better than the original Jurassic Park. And that's...
No.
Or
That's
maybe
a
on,
mental thing to say.
or maybe on, or maybe on par. I mean, it was. No, I don't know if it is a mental thing. I think it was.
You know
it was
what?
really-
It's not. It's personal opinion, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I know, but
But no,
I mean-
don't spit on my Jurassic Park. I went to see that again this year at the cinema. They re-released
Oh,
it in
did
the
I?
cinema.
Yeah.
And it was the first film I remember seeing with my parents, and I went and saw it on the big screen, surround sound. And when it's that T-Rex is coming, you still get that in the shivers
Yeah.
and like.
Destroyed now, Rick. That island's gone.
I know.
It's gone.
no.
I can't believe they did that.
The Brachiosaurus. I think it's that one as well, which you see at the start.
You see him
I'm always going to say it's that one.
in
We
the
don't know.
background.
Yeah, that is a really good scene. Actually,
Yeah, it is.
That's an emotional scene, and I thought that was very well done. But like, do you know what I mean? It did feel like two different films.
Yeah,
Stuck
no, I get
together.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I've never felt so upset over CGI dinosaurs. Honestly.
Yeah, and even though you're not too, it still made your top 4, did it?
Oh yes,
Yeah?
I mean,
It's a good film. It's a good
Jurassic World, like the Jurassic Park. I mean, from the second one onwards, they kind of fell down a bit, but it just raised the level with Jurassic World, the first one, and the second one wasn't as good, but it's still a very good, like a really good watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 4.
My number 4, which I reckon will be on your lists, to be honest. So I'm getting ahead of you, but Avengers: Infinity War.
Oh, right. I wasn't expecting that.
I'll be honest, my top 4, it was so difficult to kind of put them in an order because they've all got elements that I absolutely loved, and this is definitely the film I had the most fun with, and it's my most watched film of the year as well. I think I've seen it 4.5 times. I think I watched half of it at a hot tub play, wherever I was. But like, okay. You know when it's just on the TV in the background, I class it as half a time.
Oh, okay.
But blown away by this, and it's the build-up of over 10 years of all these characters that you've become emotionally attached to, and I was really concerned that they wouldn't be able to juggle so many stories and so many characters, but because it set them all up over that time, it worked.
Didn't the film this movie and the Endgame all at the same time?
Yeah.
Was it meant to be 2 movies to start with, or was it meant to be?
It was supposed to be part 1 and part 2, and then they scrapped the idea of part 1 and part 2 to make them standalones. But you can definitely tell that Endgame is a fault. Like, do you know what I mean? They might as well have kept it as part 1, part 2. But that ending was just, I've never had an experience like that in a cinema.
Kids were
that
crying.
happened. In mine, it was just silence, and all the way through, it just did everything so well, and it was just really fun film.
Yeah, it was good.
How they're still keeping it all together after 10 years without any issues, when DC can't do it over 3 films. Like, the amount of work that must go into this, and the control that Marvel have over it all, and being able to do it, like, it's just amazing. And I cannot wait for Endgame. I need to know what happens.
When's that coming out?
That's April
Next year, yeah.
this year.
This year, sorry, yeah.
Got to watch Marvel as well. They're very sneaky with their trailers.
Yeah, the trailer that's out now, they didn't give away anything, did they really?
No, and when Infinity War as well, they had like Hulk in the final battle. He was nowhere to be seen and things like that. They pull little tricks in the trailers, so we don't even know the trailers we're seeing now for Endgame. If they're pulling little tricks, things that are making us think it's going to go a certain way, and it's not going to be nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the fact that they can't really give much away of Endgame because it might completely. Do you know what I mean? Quite early on in the film, something might happen where it completely. You know what I mean? So you don't know what restrictions they've got, but yeah. What might damage it a little bit is when Endgame comes out, because all them characters who went aren't dead. But if it finished now, what an ending! It was like a Game of Thrones moment. Like, no way, he's not dead. He's dead. He's turning into dust. They won't do that. Spider-Man turns to dust. You're like, what? Like, and if it was gonna stay that way, then wow. But you know it's not. We've got a Spider-Man coming out this year, so he's got to come back.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have killed off Black Panther, which has made like 1.6 billion or something this year as well. It's close to like that. It's just
just obscene amounts of money, isn't it?
It's. I think Endgame might dampen that ending a bit. And once you've seen that, you won't watch this one in the same way. But what a film! Sorry, I've just been talking forever. Go for it. It's no doubt on yours.
It's one
of the biggest movies, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
So 3 now, yeah?
Yeah.
Third one. I'm going to go for Deadpool 2.
Ah, that's mine.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
your
mine.
third choice.
It's third choice, yeah.
Okay.
We might as well just talk about it together, Dean.
Yeah, go for it.
It was. I mean, it wasn't as good as the first one. I think the thing with the first one was it was such a hit because it was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
He was a brand new character that came along. It was an adult
R-rated,
themed,
yeah.
R-rated, and
We've all been
people
crying
loved
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
And his little quirks and everything. So the second one, it wasn't as eye-opening as the first one. So you went along and you kind of expected to have the quirks. You kind of expected to have all of the little one-liners. But I still enjoyed it. It was still a good movie. It was still entertaining from the start to finish. So yeah.
I mean, the introduction of Cable. He was,
Cable, yeah.
He's brilliant, actually.
John Cena, the wrestler. Yeah, so...
Who?
John Cena, no?
John Cena plays...
No, he doesn't.
Cable.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No, Josh Thingy does. Guy who played...
He built himself up.
That's John. It's the wrestler John Cena.
It's not the wrestler John
It's not.
Cena.
I promise
It's
you.
not.
Honestly, it's not.
It's the guy who plays Thanos, Josh Brolin.
Who am I thinking of then?
I have no idea. I know who John Cena is, but you're thinking of him as a different...
I mean, John
character.
Cena's been in a few movies, I must admit, but he's not in this one.
I don't know where you got that one from, Dean.
Weird. I think it's from my pills that I'm on.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, Josh Brolin's Thanos and Cable.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it wasn't far from the first one.
I think I got a little bit tired of the jokes in the cinema, but I've watched it a second time at home and really enjoyed it. So, it's funny, but it's never like absolutely like. Actually, that's a lie. The tiny little legs scene is amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, the reactions to them when he sat there is just excellent. Like,
Yeah,
really
they were
enjoyed that.
good. He gets like completely ripped in half. It's a juggernaut.
Yeah,
Completely ripped in half.
and the little
Juggernaut was good. I like the portrayal of Juggernaut in it.
Yeah.
as well. The little cameo from all the X-Men as well, I thought was cleverly done. When he's like, "Can we not afford them now? This is like a much bigger film."
Yeah,
and then
that's right,
you see them behind him closing the door. Like, thought that was brilliant. So it's my third one now. Isn't it? My third one, which I don't know if either of you two have seen. Actually, we've not discussed this. Upgrade.
Yep, I've seen it.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'll just read out my review. Upgrade is brilliantly executed story with impeccable direction, top draw acting, perfectly paced, and features ultra cool, creative, and visceral action. Visible. I was totally unprepared. For how good this movie was. I'm also now terrified of asking Alexa to turn my lights off. Easily one of the top action films of the year. And that is my review. And that sums up. I think I went into it not expecting much. It's one of them smaller films. I don't even think it came out in the cinema over here. I don't remember it being advertised anywhere. Threw it on. Like the action scenes are so clever, and there's some tricks that they do in this film which work perfectly. There's a bit where like the camera is looking at his face, but the camera's moving as he's walking with him. It's a kind of weird little
I know what you mean.
to give that robotic feel about it all, because he's kind of controlled by this smart device thing. And the fight scenes where his facial actions, he's shocked and scared and all this stuff he's doing because he has no control over it. So he's like kind of a spectator to his own body, and the way he acts that out is so well done. He's like a knockoff Tom Hardy, isn't he? But I thought he looked very similar to Tom Hardy.
I mean, if somebody didn't actually mention that to me and said there's somebody else playing the lead role,
Is it Logan Marshall or something?
I would have said straight away that's Tom Hardy.
Yeah. I know it is. If you squint a little bit, it is.
Yeah.
He'll get more work out of that, definitely. But yeah, again, I just thought it's kind of like my John Wick of the year. So the original John Wick blew me away with just how it was a pretty straightforward but fun story. Kept you on your toes, but not too taxing. With really well executed action scenes, and that's exactly what this does. And so, yeah, absolutely loved that film.
I wasn't as hyped about it as what you were, but I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I did think it was good.
Yeah,
the fight scenes especially, I thought they pulled it off well.
Yeah, just the way when he gets when he's getting up from the floor and stuff, and how the camera's like on its side and goes actually moves up with him,
follows him.
Yeah,
it follows him. It reminded me of how Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah,
how they followed like the fight scenes in relation to that.
They were brilliant in that as well.
But yeah, it was simple but effective.
Yeah, and it's a standalone film which isn't trying to sell all these extra sequels and universes and nonsense. It's just a standalone film, just really good, nice.
Because it doesn't he get? Have you seen this?
No.
Well,
Well, you know what you need to do. You need to watch it. Dean.
I'm just trying to think of how does he actually get in that condition to get that upgrade? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Car accident, it becomes...
yes, I've just remembered now, yeah. Yeah, I've just remembered.
And we can't talk about...
Yeah.
I'm trying to control myself.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Which is funny, because we were just talking about all that, weren't we? I can't say her name because she'll start listening to me.
She will.
But like how it's all taken over. And that could be something that... This is something that could happen. You could have one implemented into you if you're maybe
absolutely.
disabled to help with things and in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
you're not wrong.
I thought it was very, very clever.
You're not wrong, mate.
Your number 2, Dean.
Oh! Number 2 is...
Just don't do it on that chair.
No, I won't do number 2 on here. It is Escape Plan 2.
Shut the front door.
Get out of here.
I nearly swore then. Rick would have to do a bit of editing.
Sylvester Stallone. It's brilliant.
Shut up, Dean.
It's a... Whoa.
We'll talk about the worst film at the end. But...
Right, okay. So, no. My second... No, it's a bit boring now because we've already mentioned it. So it was going to be Infinity War.
Right.
Avengers Infinity
It's
War.
not alright. I talked forever about it. You haven't talked about it, so...
Yeah, well, it's... I mean... It was so easy to go into that movie and be let down because the hype was absolutely immense. We went to watch the midnight showing.
Yeah.
And I never in my life have been to see a movie at midnight.
I've got a feeling we might be doing that again in April. What do you reckon?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Oh, it was worth it, wasn't it?
To see it as early as possible, you have to go to the midnight showing.
Yeah.
And to watch it as early as possible. And you get free Lego.
Yeah, we did.
We got free Lego.
Yeah, we did.
Why don't you just go to America and just see it like 3 to 4 weeks before it even comes to the UK?
We actually usually get them a week or two before America with the Marvel
I think
films.
it's because we don't leak
Not
it
this
on the
time.
internet, do we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
But not this time. They're coming. It's a worldwide launch.
That was a really good movie. I mean, because we talked about all the positives before, the only critical thing I could say is that because they had so much to fit in and so many characters to fit in, they had to hit certain plot points, and so the characters' like power levels were changing throughout the movie just to meet a certain plot point.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute you've got the Hulk getting smashed to bits to show how powerful Thanos is at the beginning, and then Thor getting completely defeated dead easily, and then the next minute you've got Spider-Man and Iron Man taking full punches off Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. So they kept on changing the power levels just to get the characters where they needed to be, and of course Thor had to have that huge entry and have a huge power up at the end as well. But apart from that, that's nitpicking. Overall, it was just to meet the plot points, to keep the action flowing and meet all the.
Mine's Venom.
Number 2.
Number 2. Number 2.
Number 2.
Venom. I thought
Do you want to know where it is for me?
I thought it's probably not in your top 5.
I have to go.
Not in your top 10, sorry.
Just keep going down this list.
Remember, we haven't seen 170.
Are you serious?
28th in my list.
Are you taking the piss?
He's seen 170 odd movies. Though, John.
Well, saying that though, if that's a kid, then it's not really too bad, is it? But no, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I was expecting nothing out of it. It's like
It could have been a lot worse. I give you that.
It's like the equivalent to your upgrade to my Venom, shall we say? Where upgrade you thought was pretty nice going, where I wasn't too bothered about it. Obviously with Venom, it's the other way around. I just thought it was, I liked it.
It was an entertaining movie.
It was.
But the things I just didn't like the villain very much.
The villain was generic and boring.
And some of the lines, like
I've got the first thing in my reviews like features an awful lot of like clunky dialogue.
Yeah.
But I just like I don't know.
Trying
I just
to remember
like
the lines, aren't you?
Yeah,
the interaction,
some of the bad things he says
between Tom Hardy and the CGI effects, I thought worked well. I'm guessing you with that.
Do you not
think
right.
different?
No, there is some really good bits. I like the fight scene with the guns in the office. I think he's in, or canteen or something. The final fight's a bit. Like, it's just a load of gunk fighting each other though, and it's just.
But when you get like the gunk and like Venom and that other person like peeling away from the human form, and you've got them like in the middle and they're still fighting or whatever, it just looked brilliant.
Yeah,
it looked really good. The woman in it was beautiful. Who he split from and she went with somebody else, the bitch. Mm-hmm.
I know, but he had some mental issues, didn't he?
Oh, he did, yeah.
I don't blame him.
But
And then he started turning into cannibalism, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I kind of think the way he got into Venom was a bit far-fetched. Well, it's a bit like,
yeah.
really, you know, when it's actually doing a lot of other different things to other people, where he kind of like gets to interact and talk with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But anyway, they kind of bond as one, don't they?
Yeah.
In a sense, and
I think
together they were.
I think it was hard for me because I probably didn't give it as fair chance. You just watched it just for an entertainment point of view. You sat there, you watched it. But I miss Spider-Man. When I see Venom, I did miss Spider-Man as well because I'm so used to seeing Spider-Man and Venom together.
I'll give you that.
Kind of weird.
I mean, there's obviously that combination as well. Yes, but I don't know. I just really, really liked it. I just really thought.
You've just said there, I watch films in a critical way now, whereas you're still like untouched by that, I think. So you're quite good for like maybe the general viewing people, public to see films. You just because I was sat there going, God, the dialogue's terrible. The origin story's pretty basic. But you're right. Like I did enjoy it. I still thought it was a pretty good film, and I did go in expecting it to be a lot worse than it was. But I think Tom Hardy made that film.
Absolutely.
If he wasn't in it, that'd have been a lot worse.
He did really for the selection for that. He done really, really well.
I can imagine that was hard to perform, like because he's going mental in and a lot of issues. Like, yeah. So
I mean, to combine with the effects to his acting, and they pulled it off. They pulled it off for me. But really, I kind of like. I shouldn't really judge a book by its cover, but if I don't see something like I don't know or like advertised in a way, in a certain way, I won't bother with it. It's like for some reason Black Panther's not grabbing me at all. Excuse me. It's not grabbing me for some reason. I'm just seeing it there on it's either Now TV or Netflix or whatever it's on, and I'm just skipping by it all the time. It's I don't know why.
It's well worth a watch, but
there's just certain films that are like that where if it doesn't pounce at me in a certain way, then I'll just bypass it. Or if it's not recommended, then I'll just bypass it. Or if I haven't seen the trailer, anyway. But that's just me.
Could have been worse though. He could have said Bumblebee.
He could. Well, that's it. John, if you're just listening for the first time, has this thing where he just adores Transformers, and no matter how bad they got, you know, with the dinosaur one and whatever the one last night was the one before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you still stuck up for them. I'll never understand that. I mean, the atrocious, absolute movie shit.
They started to go a bit south, but I just like Michael Bay. Michael Bay films are just I don't know. It's like a colourful sense of.
Funnily enough, though, Bumblebee's getting really good reviews.
I was going to say that, yeah.
And it's not Michael Bay. They got rid of him, and
there's a lot of emotion between the robot and the character, the main character.
The reason I haven't seen when did that come out?
That came out in early December, wasn't it?
The reason I haven't seen it is
I
because
haven't seen it either, actually.
I mean, they should have stopped them, I think, a good few films back. Although I do like them, yes, they are. Basically, your Jurassic World to my Transformers.
Annoyingly, though, this one's actually performed the worst in the box office since right at the start, I think, or something. It's done really bad, yeah. And it's one of the better reviewed ones, which is so sad, innit? Because when they finally get their act together, no one goes to see it. Like, proof, me and you haven't seen it, and I've done my best to see it.
I haven't been bothered by this one because it's another Transformers one that has come out that I didn't think needed to. Yeah. Again, looks like it's a prequel.
It's like Hollywood is just flogging everything for it. Yeah. They're just ringing it for everything it can, and
it's something that I am going to watch, absolutely, because it's Transformers. I do like the franchise, but although I do like it, I think they have gone a bit too far.
Yeah. My number 2.
Creed.
What?
No.
Creed. What?
Why would you said that for? Edit that part out.
No, that's staying in. I'm not editing it.
That's all right. I said John Cena was in Deadpool 2.
That's mental. Right. What a film. For me, Greatest Showman was incredible, but that it kind of came out of last year it didn't make my top 10 list because I hadn't watched it when I'd made my top 10 list, so I kind of got lost in everything. But I loved Greatest Showman. The soundtrack was incredible. This, right? I love Queen, which probably helps. I went to London. I watched it on like the big screen in like the biggest cinema I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, you could have fit 3 jumbo jets in there.
It's like a documentary or something.
No, it's a film, but it is like it's based loosely on what happened.
So it's like a dramatization.
And
So who plays him?
it got a lot of flack for who plays him, Rami Malek. And what a performance! Like he's gonna win. He's gonna win a lot of awards for this. I guarantee you. You know when all the big awards and Oscars and shit.
Yeah.
So good. And well, I've lost track where I was going with this, but
So you went to the cinema. It's quite big.
yeah, the sound system, right? To listen to, you don't realize how many hits they had. Like it starts off with Somebody to Love, I think, and I'm like, you're using your biggest song straight away, like. What you doing? And then you realise just how many amazing songs they've had
His
out,
vocal range
song
was
after song after
absolutely
song.
incredible.
It was, and the genre blending, like they experimented so much, and it got a lot of flack because it avoids a few things, like his drug taking, and it only loosely skirts around the whole AIDS thing.
It want to be a celebration of his successes.
Yes, it moves things around when it actually happens. So, for example, it ends on the Live Aid concert, which is amazing. But he only finds out about the AIDS and stuff, I believe, after that. But in the film, he knows about it before then. And so he tells the guys, the band and everything before then. So it can end on a high, do you know what I mean? And
was he in a relationship or was it just...
Yeah, he had a girlfriend. Well, no, he was married, wasn't he? And then at some point through his career, he realised he was gay.
Yeah,
but they stayed very close.
Did he have a gay relationship though?
Yes,
he did.
Many men, I believe. Yeah, but he did end. He did pass away in a relationship with a man. Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Right.
But. Watch it, honestly. It's one of them films where you sat there and I had goosebumps and I was singing. Everybody in the cinema was singing it, and it just leaves you with such a good feeling. So the criticism it got, I straight away say, look, they're trying to make it an entertainment film. You don't want to get it bogged down in all these AIDS and drug taking and stuff like that. It's a celebrate his life. Not kind of rip apart this man who's now passed away.
Fantastic.
It wasn't a documentary, it was
singer.
a dramatisation. So I said it was just for entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, the vocals that this guy could actually put out on stage as a live performance was just beyond words. Phenomenal.
Yeah. So, and the Blu-ray, they've just announced that the Blu-ray is going to come out with the full live performance. So he did the Band-Aid at the end, right? And there's a couple of songs that they didn't have in to shorten it down a bit in the film. But they're going to they've recreated the entire Band-Aid festival, and that's going to be included in the Blu-ray rather than. So I think it was "We Will Rock You" and another song that wasn't in the final cut because that song had already been in the film. So they chopped it out.
Did it do quite well worldwide?
It's done amazingly well, yeah. It's made a
Can you imagine all the downloads as well of his songs again?
Yeah, well, that's it. Queen instantly ended up in all the charts again. When I've been DJing over Christmas, like it's great to have this because now younger people, kids and stuff, are hearing of Queen, and thanks to this film.
Yeah.
And it gives me an excuse to be able to play like literally the best music ever made in my eyes. Again, like
that's the thing
to a younger audience.
Back then, they were just so talented to what they could actually put together to make what they made.
And by watching this film, you appreciate it even more. And some of the battles they had to go through with record labels and things like that. And it's as soon as this comes out for home release, watch it.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people put it on Facebook how good it was. So. But if it's on par with like The Greatest Showman or what have you, and
better in my eyes.
Then I'll be watching it because The Greatest Showman was just. I mean, I'm not one for musicals. I never have been.
They're making they seem to be making a comeback. Like I say, The Greatest Showman. We've got Bohemian Rhapsody, and this year we've got the one based on Elton John, haven't we? Rocket Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you not heard about this?
No.
Yeah, Tarragon. I can never say his name. Eglinton fella from Kingsman.
Oh yes,
He's playing Elton John.
is he?
Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't like his music as much as Queen, so I can't see it beating Bohemian Rhapsody. But I'm loving it. It's going in the cinema and watching and like hearing this music on the big screen and stuff like that. It's just, I like it. I like the kind of festival-y type feeling you get from it all. And
Did you ever watch Les Miserables?
oh yeah, made me Les Miserables.
Well, that was a musical, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that, so we shite?
I didn't like it at all.
Oh, okay.
I watched that after I'd watched The Greatest Showman because it's obviously Hugh Jackman as well. So I thought, this should be good.
Decent, yeah.
I just didn't
Terrible.
like it at all. Yeah, it's very dark and the music. There's no decent songs in it in my eyes.
Hasn't it got Anne Hathaway in as well?
Yeah, it's got quite a lot of big names. It's got.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Gladiator dude.
Gladiator dude.
The guy who played Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
That's the fella. Yeah.
He's in it.
He can't sing. He can't sing at all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was my number 2.
Hey.
Your number 1, Dean.
Number 1.
Go for Dean. Go for Jerome.
Oh God, I'm excited. I've got to.
This might be quite controversial because it's chosen not necessarily for the script, but more for the visual representation and that of the film, the artistic merit that came into this film.
Merit.
So what I'm
What do you
going
reckon,
for,
John? What do you reckon?
I'm guessing it's Escape Plan 2.
No, it's not Escape Plan 2.
It's
Yeah.
The
So
artistic merit.
yeah. So my number 1 is The Predator. Was you going there? Didn't know the silence.
I'll tell
my
you what,
God.
he's walking a tightrope.
No,
He's
my
walking
number.
a
No,
tightrope.
Have you seen
Stop
it?
making that noise.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Especially when you've watched the first one.
We all agree on something. How weird's that?
It was terrible.
I did go in really excited for that, and it was.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I was.
Only because it was the guy who was in the original.
Yeah,
last
I just
time.
thought.
God,
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
You know what's coming?
I thought, oh,
It's
right.
a predictable mess.
Yeah, but it was almost kind of like a softy reboot type thing. I thought it's going to be a return to form for one of my favourite characters, like.
Because he said he had this point of view of being there and filming the original and being in the original. I thought, yeah, he's the right person to take it over.
Yeah. But it was a mess. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, the ending. I nearly punched myself in
Oh,
the face.
that was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
With the suit
terrible.
thing. Oh.
So that's obviously opened itself for a new one.
Do not make another one,
I don't think the world.
Of course it
I don't
does.
think it did
Of course
well at the
it
box
does.
office.
Why ruin it? Like, just have a predator hunting people down and just.
But see, that's the thing. It's just the same concept.
Then they're throwing
over
an
and over
ultimate
again.
predator and
And they try to recreate the joke between the Marines, but it worked nothing like the first one.
No.
It wasn't there.
No.
some of the dialogue was quite good with them. Like,
Yeah.
I like some of the interactions with them.
I can see
but
what they were trying to do, but it just didn't have that feeling.
Anyway,
Anyway, number one.
Number
Yeah,
one.
So yeah, going back to it, but I wasn't lying when I said it's about the artistic merit,
yeah.
and it's Aquaman,
Number 1.
number 1. Aquaman.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I was pretty blown away by the way that was filmed in terms of the underwater scenes and the way they used the CGI. It's been a long time.
Okay.
Probably since Avatar, since I've gone along and seen a film where I just felt like I was in a completely different world, and the way it was filmed and the scenes. I know a lot of it was the way they did the slow motion scenes and the battle scenes where people were leaning back has all been done before, but I quite liked how the director had like wide shots as well, so you could see actually what was going on in the battle scenes.
Yeah.
There's so many films nowadays where the close up and there's like the flick between action scenes, and you can't
And shaky
see what-
cam and
shaky cam, and you can't see what's going on.
Yeah, you're right.
But this particular film, it was actually visually stunning. I know Jason Momoa, yeah, he's not the best actor in the world. He didn't have the best script. They were working with pretty basic lines all the way through.
Yeah.
And it didn't have necessarily the greatest storyline, but I was entertained from start to finish. It had action all the way through. But it was more just that the way the CGI guys and the visual merit of that film, they must have worked so hard. And I was surprised at the Oscars because for some of the visual things, like Mary Poppins came up, Ready Player One came up. I think Infinity War was put forward for the visuals in that, but Aquaman didn't even get a nomination.
To have a film, a lot of it's underwater. Like the amount of you're right. The amount of work to work out how to get that to look good, and
They had the
'cause
hair
it usually
moving
looks
underwater
terrible, doesn't
and
it?
all the actors, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it from start to finish. It was my surprise film of the year. I went in, I watched it, and I thought this is going to be a load of shite. It's DC,
Yeah.
and everyone's been really down on
You're
DC.
right. You're right. I went in with pretty low expectations.
And I think it was my low expectations that made me enjoy it a lot more. And it's actually grossing more than Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's their biggest box office, I think, now, DC.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if it's dumb or not. Well, it's coming from my lips, so it probably is.
Yeah, it will be.
Does he, when he's underwater, can he actually breathe underwater?
Yeah.
Or does he just hold his breath?
No, you can breathe.
Look,
He can actually breathe underwater.
Talk and breathe. And all
Yeah, so you've got to ignore things like that. They can talk perfectly underwater and stuff like that.
that. Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
But I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed it. I know it's just a big CGI fest, but I quite enjoyed it from start to finish.
See, you can have a
For a long movie, it was 2 hours, not movie.
Yeah, I think
never
it was a
felt
little
bored.
too long, and there's a few story elements I didn't like. It was quite generic, like battling to get back on the throne, and then that little quest to go and get his staff from the desert and stuff. I was like, but one scene in that film that blew me away was the fight in the lighthouse. I'm no spoilers. There's a fight in the lighthouse, and the camera just spins, doesn't it, round the room, and the sofa's getting thrown over the top of the camera. They're getting kicked in. It's all one cut, I think, from what I could notice. And I thought that was so well done. And the rooftop scene as well, when they're running across the rooftop and through the buildings and things. I thought that was incredible.
There's a recent release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a recent release?
It is just come
Are we
out in
talking
December.
like December? Yeah, we're
Yes.
talking December, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the visuals, and it was like, is it Jason Wan or someone, the director?
Yes, yeah.
And what else has he done?
Who?
He did a Fast and the Furious films, didn't he? He's known for the original Saw film,
Is he?
The Conjuring, Furious 7. So it's on par with Furious 7, like action wise, isn't it? It's nothing like Saw. Insidious. He's done a lot of horror films. Doggy Heaven video short. That sounds great.
Okay.
I like the villains as well in the movie. I thought
Yeah.
it had some good villains, and I just guess I didn't want to criticise a DC movie after
Yeah,
all the
maybe.
films that they've had.
Yeah, they did.
No, I thought it was a breath of fresh air. I haven't seen a movie where I just sat down and just enjoyed a popcorn flick like that for quite a long time.
I liked. It was very colourful as well, wasn't it? When I think about Man now, I like some really nice. It was a bright film. It wasn't hidden in darkness and stuff, which DC is now known for. It was very different feeling from the DC films. So, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't have put it in my top. It's not in my top 10, but it's. I had fun with it.
It wasn't a great script. It wasn't.
No, the
I didn't
script
have
was
much
a
to
bit
work
woody.
with, and he's not the best actor in the world to be a lead, but he still played a good part as Aquaman.
It did have it had a few cringy lines and stuff.
That's just part and parcel now.
Like
isn't it?
when they say it, my toes curl, and I'm like, oh god.
My number one, Avengers, Infinity War.
Right.
Infinity War, sorry. Obviously, I already touched on that point, so I won't go into it. But yeah, that's my number one.
Okay. My number one, and none of you mentioned this. I hope one of you's seen it.
If you say Annihilation, I'll cry.
It's not Annihilation, but that just missed out. That was number 6, I think.
If you say
Annihilation's brilliant. How did you turn it off?
I'll give it another
A
shot.
scene in that film with the bear. You didn't get to the bear, did you?
I got to a point where I think it was a crocodile.
Right, okay, you didn't get to the bear. The bear, it's all, as the film progresses, more and more mutant type of animals exist, because it's all about genetics blending with
You know
other
what? I love
things.
sci-fi, and I've not seen it.
I know, it's the only real a good sci-fi film this year, I'd say. And, there's this bear that it roars with the sound of its last victim. And it's this girl screaming, and there's a scene in this room, and it'll never leave me. And I love moments like that, which you know when you mention that film, and straight away you'll remember that scene.
Yeah.
They just stick with you.
Yeah.
It is so tense and so spooky. That roar, I'll never forget. It's the same as the click from Hereditary. Have you seen that?
No.
You've not seen Hereditary? that was I think 7 on my list. There's a little girl, and she looks weird anyway, and she does this. And there's a scene where he's sitting up on his bed, and you see this figure in the top corner of the bedroom, in the top corner, like against the ceiling and the wall, and it just lingers on that shot for ages, and it's just you're just like waiting for something to happen. But this, it's so clever where it kind of messes with your expectations. It doesn't do many jump scares or anything like that. It just lingers on shots. So in your head, you're thinking something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then it might not. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. And it plays with you.
Oh, okay.
And again, there's many scenes in Hereditary which it'll stay with me for a long time. You see it as soon as you close your eyes in bed. You can.
Is that 2018 as well?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was high up. But my number one pick is also a horror.
Right.
A Quiet Place.
Oh, I'm dying to watch this.
Which is number one for a lot of people, I'll be honest. When I've been looking at other people's lists, or at least in the top fives, it's
It
appearing
looks amazing,
everywhere.
but I am not watching it with Chinese subtitles.
You don't have to. It's been out for ages. Buy it.
I'm not...
I love a good horror. I don't think I've really watched a proper horror.
Oh, this film, I had to
2018.
sneak upstairs to get into bed. I was like...
Really?
I was like... And then my phone went off. I was like, no, silence. Put it on silent.
Don't give too much away.
I'm not going to, but it starts off shocking.
It starts off in a like a little convenience store.
Yes,
doesn't
it does. Yeah.
And I'm going through it. I'm going through it, right? Because obviously, in order to see if these Chinese subtitles will make an appearance, I've got
Weirdly,
to wait until
though-
somebody talks.
Weirdly though, there's hardly any talking in it.
So I have to get about 30 minutes into it. By then, there's some action scene kicking off. Right? I'm like, pause it. So I'll go back a little bit, you know what I mean? And I'll finally get some talking.
That is a point. There would be hardly any Chinese subtitles because there's no talking in it. Which is, again, just shows how good this film is, right?
It's a visual film.
It's a visual film. It's all plays with your mind and stuff like that. It doesn't need the dialogue, but there's so much characterization in it. You really care for the people in it without them talking. Yeah. It's brilliant. I'll just read out my review. It's one of the most inventive and beautifully crafted horror movies I've seen in a very long time. To achieve what it does in its brisk 90-minute runtime is nothing short of incredible. The film buries under your skin and will leave you thinking about it long after the credits roll. So much so that I'm typing this review as quietly as I possibly can. And just so the slimy crab monsters won't hear my tapping. This is an original, unnerving horror, well executed, perfectly paced, and a thrill ride of a sheer tension. Tell everybody, but do it quietly.
See, I've got a nice backlog of movies to watch in 2018. A lot of the movies I watched this year were just at the cinema. Mm-hmm. So it's only the big name films, like the blockbuster films. And films like this, you just forget to go along and see.
Well,
it doesn't stand out to go along. You think, I'll pop along and watch The Quiet.
I wish I'd seen that in the cinema.
Dear.
One of my biggest regrets of 2018 is not seeing A Quiet Place in the cinema, because to see a film which is almost all in silence in a cinema, it would be really annoying if you did get some people talking though with that one.
Yeah.
That would really ruin the film.
Or eating popcorn.
Yeah, you'd hear everything. But if you've got a really quiet audience, I think that'd be amazing because you're all... Do you know what I mean? And the way I was sneaking up to bed, they'll all have been like that in the cinema. Like, brilliant.
Have you made Gemma watch it just before she goes to bed?
Not yet. But that should be one of my choices. I need to find out if Matt's seen it or not. Right, good lists. What was the biggest disappointment of the year, really quickly?
Oh, for the films that we've seen?
The Predator.
Yeah, that was high up one for mine.
I would say The Meg was quite a disappointment.
Oh, I loved The Meg. I thought it was so much fun.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was just fun. And it didn't try to be anything else, that's why...
No. I tell you what, possibly...
I thought you'd like The Meg.
Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage was pretty pants.
The Meg, sorry, I'm being a bit harsh. The Meg wasn't too bad. Jason Statham, though, he could act a bit better, to be honest. But Rampage...
He could act a bit better.
I think Rampage was just... I mean, you had a flying wolf.
Yeah.
You had a crocodile that was just nigh on impossible to kill. You had an out-of-control, overgrown gorilla.
It was just...
Well, you had two of them, to be honest, because Dwayne Johnson couldn't act in that either.
I couldn't believe it when it came out. Was that some kind of 80s, 90s computer game?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And anyway, they just basically go and smashing the joint up. In Chicago or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
But I just found it looked good trailer-wise. Well, I think all films look good trailer-wise, but once you get it from start to finish, it was just...
Yeah.
Not all that.
There was not much to it, was there? It was pretty
not
empty.
all that.
Have any of you seen Mute? A Netflix original film. It was the first one to come out. No, it's not. It was the first one to come out. No, the second one.
You like quiet films, don't you?
It's a guy who just can't talk, I think, from what I remember. I'm trying not to remember it. It was shit. Simple plot bogged down by strands of many other stories, and it left me scratching my head. There's a spelling mistake there. I was waiting for something to happen through the whole film. It's just bland and shit. Seen any films that disappointed?
Yeah, it was just The Predator and Escape Plan 2.
Oh,
That
God.
was only TV
Oh, yeah,
movie,
you could
wasn't
actually
I didn't even
wanted to watch
it.
that.
How have you two not seen some of the biggest films? Neither of you have seen Quiet
very,
Place.
very
Yet
ill.
you both watched.
I wanted to see Quiet Place, but these Chinese
Both
subtitles-
have watched Prison Break, whatever the hell it was.
Escape Plan 2.
Yeah.
I was very, very ill. I put Netflix on, it came right at the top. I just clicked on it. No, that was a bad mistake.
Yeah. Maybe you should check Popcornography out and see what their reviews are like.
I should do.
Although I haven't watched that. I am not putting myself through that.
It's hilarious.
One of the ones I absolutely hated was Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald.
I never watched that. I couldn't face watching any more Harry Potter spin-offs.
Oh, yeah.
The first Fantastic Beasts is good. I enjoyed it. This one is just... It's all over the place. All it does is introduce all these characters and all their backstories for future films. And it's just a whole lot of blech. And I was bored out my skull. And I'll be honest, after the first 10 minutes, I had no idea what was going on. Because it relies on you knowing literally everything about the Harry Potter universe. And I've watched them all, but I'm not a pothead. And because I'm not...
What a way of putting it.
Because I'm not, I couldn't follow it.
So what makes you keep to that film? You know for the first 10 to 15 minutes it's shit.
I've sat in a cinema.
Okay, doesn't matter.
With my whole family.
I thought you meant you'd like it at home.
No, and it was just like, and halfway through it, I looked at my family, and all of them looked at me, and we're all like, no idea what's happening. I don't know what's going on, and not much does happen. And there's a few revelations, like, and you hear a couple of people in the crowd kind of go, oh, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, and none of them knew who we were. Like, and then when I've asked about what I thought it could be, was that, and it wasn't that big a deal anyway. And I just. This is an example of trying to build something but not do it properly. Just throw a load of origin nonsense in there, and it's a prequel, isn't it? So you know that whatever his name is, the owner of Hogwarts and stuff like he's going to be all right. And I just thought it was shit. And I've got to thank Matt for making me watch Slice. That came out this year. That was dreadful. And Downsizing, which I thought that was a really good idea, but executed really badly.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
It's like that. It with me and you, Dean. You loved it. I thought it was shite. But they're making another one, aren't they?
Yeah. It's out this year.
So I wouldn't mind seeing how that pans out.
That's going to be weird because the second one's going to be based on the adults.
Yeah.
Older.
Yeah.
And I always thought the first part was always the more interesting story with the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with how well Stranger Things was doing. It had that kind of vibe to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're making a third one, aren't they? Third season, Stranger Things.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Good year coming up. We've got Game of Thrones coming back.
Yes, we are.
April. We've got End War in April. But next podcast we'll talk about the films we're most looking forward to.
Aladdin's coming out as well. That's
Lion King.
Good, Lion King.
Lion King, yeah.
John Wick 3.
I'm not impressed with the superhero films that are coming out this year. You already spoke about
End
Captain
War
Marvel.
and Spider-Man.
No, that's all right. But Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
not really bothered about.
X-Men. Yeah.
No, the X-Men movies.
That horror X-Men one as well, New Mutants, and that's out this year, isn't it? But yeah, we'll save all that for the next episode, which we'll do in the next week or two.
For future.
So that one for the future. But it's nice to be back, nice to chat shit, and we'll have Simon back, and maybe Matt will be sat here as well.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. Whoever's still left, whoever's still subscribed to us, or if you're a new listener. So I've been Rick.
I've been Dean.
I've been John.
And we'll catch you in the next episode. And Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It wasn't merry, it was crap.
Told you no.
For you. Yeah.
Let's get this cough on the line. It's like...
Bye.
See you later.
Bye!